Welcome back to Myth Machine and Chicago by Night First Edition, which we are playing. This is 1991, when the world of darkness took the world of role-playing by storm, because it was super cool and edgy and stuff, and also very well... The concept, we love the concept, don't we? Vampires in the night, clans, vying for each other for power, with each other for power, and the beast constantly in the back of your mind.
Yeah,
waiting
Evanescence
to...
always playing in the background.
Yes. No, there was no Evanescence in
Nirvana.
in 1991. We had Dead Can Dance, though. Lots of Dead Can Dance. All of it. Also, The Mission, 9 Inch Nails. Yeah.
Did Tool release songs in that time? I forget.
Yeah. So there was stuff. Evanescence is like super modern compared to this. We're back to the REM. Yeah, that's actually on one
This
of the...
is right about the time they go from being like a college band to being...
Yeah. Losing My Religion is like the big hit in 1991, I think. So, yeah. And Nirvana
That's
is
me
also
in the
breaking
corner.
up. Exactly that one. And of course, if you're so inclined, some Depeche Mode with the Violators coming out this year, I believe. So, yeah. Waiting for the night to fall
That
could
one
be
I know,
very
that one I
appropriate.
know.
Yeah. Waiting for the night to fall could be very appropriate for a vampire game, couldn't it? I think so. Also, The Policy of Truth. Yeah, there's a... Anyway, this show is rated R because vampires are terrible monsters, and they do terrible things to other people and to themselves. So far, we've had murder, diablerie...
Child abuse.
Not from the player group, luckily.
Not from the player group, but from Neely.
Thank God.
In the
Right?
setting, more so.
Yes, in the setting that has happened, and other bad things have happened. So yeah, it's blood and personal drama and tragedy. That's why we're here. That's why we're playing vampires, isn't it? So, who is this coterie? Why don't you introduce yourselves, and then I'll tell you what happened last session to the audience.
The audience and me. I definitely know what's going on. Hello, I'm Dominique, or Domi for short. I'm playing as Björnsson, the Bohemian rock star that sees things about chess despite not having played that much chess himself, and he's still trying to figure out what the heck is going on, or what the hell is going on.
Yes.
I'm El Duende. Pronouns any all. I'm playing as Tony Hernandez, the Bruja gangster. Also, yes.
Yes, what?
Yes.
And Jan, I'm playing Chris, the toy or body artist.
I'm Enda. I'm playing Kate Peretti, current moral sinking stone of the group.
We gotta have a balance here. One is dragging the group down, and the other one is holding the group up, and that is...
I'm Roger. I'm playing Goldtooth Charlie, creative former gangster who actually got out of this night without having to use any more white phosphorus.
Which is probably a good thing.
Yeah. First thing before we begin, I just want to say fuck the rest of you for not continuing the yes line.
What? Such an F-bomb already, El Duende.
Hell didn't count for the swearing?
I don't know.
Nah, it's like ass. It's not hard enough.
I don't know, for some reason in America it's counted as swearing.
Anyway.
I can't say half the words in my vocabulary because I'm Australian.
Oh.
Half
Very
of
well
our
then.
swear words are just conjoiner words.
Well, I have no idea how any of that works. I'm just Canadian, so yeah. It's winter and we wear our toques, but except I'm not outside, so I don't. Anyway.
Yeah, from what I gather about Australian English, it's either gobbledygook or the most hilarious slur you've ever heard in your life.
Yeah.
If you say so. Last time, when our protagonists gathered, They did so to stake out an orphanage. Yeah. First of all, they delivered Becky to the sheriff. The young
Very
child
morbid.
Becky, who is in fact now a vampire embraced by someone unknown at that time. If she was embraced by Neely, then she is the grandchild of Loden and probably pretty strong-blooded Ventru. Yeah. Anyway.
Somebody hold Kate back.
Kate is like, oh, nom! Anyway, Sheriff, you managed to talk Sheriff into making it his problem now because he's the sheriff and he is the law and that's what he does. Yeah, good use of your persuasion skills there. I don't think he's gonna give you any rewards for that, but he did. He took care of Becky, and you don't know what happened to Becky after that. Who knows? Maybe she is still alive or not. Everybody had to roll a remorse check going to bed for that morning, as you were pretty sure that it was not going to end well for her. And yeah, it was a moment, certainly, when you all went to your day sleep and were thinking about your sins. But because you were thinking about your sins, you all passed your remorse checks and were feeling terrible and guilty and conscience weighing down on you. What kind of existence have you had foisted upon you, or chosen in those cases that happened? A bad one, clearly. Vampirism is a curse, and you will probably never again experience the simple joy of just having human problems. Be that as it may, next night you started out at different places, did some feeding, but very quickly congregated to a single group and descended upon the orphanage once more to set up surveillance. And how? You had all the equipment, you had shotgun mics, cameras, bugs, all the things. People were placing themselves strategically around the orphanage. Fire escapes, back doors, front doors, everything was covered. After that started boringness, because let's face it, a stakeout is boring, and for the most part, nothing much happens when you're doing a stakeout. You didn't even have donuts to eat because you're vampires and can't eat donuts. Eventually, however, your efforts and patience paid off, because someone was coming down the street. Kate was the first one to see him. It was Neely. Rumpled again. Vibes from the Succubus Club right there. And you managed to intercept him. He went into the building, he went up to the floor of the orphanage, and lo and behold, he was going in there, and he was starting to drug people and dominate them, and the first one to arrive on the scene was Chris, who immediately went frenzy when he saw the person who had done these outrageous things, and he just couldn't control his beast and just rage frenzied on Mr. Neely. However, a mere Toreador neonate facing off against a Ventru elder, the Seneschal no less, he didn't have time to hurt Chris. So Mr. Neely did not have time to hurt Chris, so I guess that's good news. Chris also did not hurt Mr. Neely at all. Not even his punches landed and left no impact on Mr. Neely. The brawl ended as Charlie came up. There was a little bit of a mess there, but as things progressed, Neely managed to dominate Chris to take a walk around the block, and Charlie and Neely had a conversation about what he was doing, and Neely was swearing that he didn't want to do any of this, that he didn't know what was going on with him, that the beast was overcoming him, and
the lion realized that the walls were closing in on him.
Yeah, I guess that's the way you could put it. As everybody finally made their way up there and met up with Charlie and Mr. Neely, that is essentially the defense that Mr. Neely presented. He did not want to do any of this. He seemed guilt-ridden, filled of shame, and Kate made the ultimatum. We're taking you to the prince. And Neely hung his head in shame and allowed you to lead on, as it were. And that is essentially where we are. We are going up to meet with Prince Loden to see what kind of judgment Loden might pass on Mr. Neely, given all the evidence you gathered, including photographic such.
Yes.
Yes. And
This
it's
is
not going
going
to be a
to
great
not be
surprise to you
pleasant.
that you're going to be let into Loden very quickly. And
Are you sure he doesn't want to keep us in the lobby for another night?
no, he does not. Certainly not when you bring the news of who you have brought. Neely, his shoulders are slumped at this point. He's just staring at the floor. It's hard to get an expression out of him. Trying very hard to just keep it together, I guess.
Kate's gonna wait for the prince to see how he wants to do this.
Ah, poor Neely. He's not doing well.
Willpower impairment.
A little bit, maybe.
Ooh. He's actually so cooked.
What? I don't know what you mean. Okay, that's weird.
Kate's
Clicked
gonna
on
speak
the-
up, I guess. She's just gonna say,
I clicked on it to be a self-roll and didn't do that for some reason. Anyway.
happens.
Yeah, Loden is looking at all of you as you're coming in to his presence. What was you gonna say, Kate?
Oh, I was just gonna say, great love, just say, evening. Prince Loden, it's not the best news we bring. Unfortunately, there's a situation that we need to deal with. And then I look over to Neely.
Yeah, he's just looking at you. You will notice the clock has passed midnight now. It's technically the 4th of July. Happy
birthday,
Independence
America.
Day, everybody.
Born in the USA. I'm gonna stop.
No, continue.
I was born in the USA. I miss.
And that's where the copyright strike came. Anyway.
That's not in character, although it would be very funny if it was.
Maybe a little bit weaker.
Yeah, Loden doesn't seem to be in a festive mood either. And I think his eyes are just saying, go on. And he's looking at Neely, and he's looking at you, and...
In that case, we're just like, last night we encountered a newly changed child in the St. Mary's orphanage who was wandering the streets. We investigated the area because it wasn't a known hunting ground of any of the Camarilla, and it could have been a big risk to feed in such a place. Aside from the fact that the child was turned, we got there, saw that this was done like it had been done before. The orderlies and humans on staff and the children had been drugged. We brought the newly turned to the sheriff, as it was his responsibility to hold her while you made a decision. We went back this night to find out who had done this, because we believed they would be coming back, where we encountered Mr. Neely. Just gonna look at Neely for him to step up.
He is not stepping up. He is just hanging his head in shame.
At which point we ascertained that Neely was the one who turned the child and drugged the entire staff. We don't know his intentions of coming back, but we do know he left a turned vampire in the orphanage for at least one day and night.
Loden is looking straight into your eyes and asking, "Is this true? Answer truthfully," as his eyes are just locking into your mind. He is not a happy camper right now.
So I don't think any of that was a lie.
No, it wasn't.
I don't believe any of it was incorrect either.
But
So yeah,
no,
she's
there
just
was-
gonna say, "Oh, all of that was the truth as it happened."
He'll nod and lean backwards in the chair. And then he's gonna lock eyes with Neely. "Mr. Neely, look at me." Which is probably pretty scary, because when this prince decides to make his aura felt, it gets intimidating. And Neely will, in fact, look up. And Loden will stare into his eyes too. And say, "Is this true? Answer me." And Mr. Neely will, in fact, relent. And he will say, "Yes, sire. It is all true. I am struggling with the beast these nights. It isn't by choice. I can't control myself anymore. The beast has risen. My actions don't reflect my true spirit, sire. I don't know what's come over me. I need to learn to control myself before another destroys me, or before I go completely mad or break any other rules and traditions. I am throwing myself at your mercy, my liege and sire." And he's actually going to go down and kneel before Loden.
I think Sylvester was previously just partially holding his hands behind his back before he raises one, as if asking to speak.
How angry is Loden right now?
Probably very angry.
Probably very angry.
Because I don't believe we found any evidence that would exonerate him or that he was under other influences.
No,
We know
we
that's
haven't.
possible, but we
Yeah.
don't have any other information that may take some of the burden off this. But he is also a child killer. Fuck him.
It's more
Um,
like that his interpretation may not be accurate because he still had a lot of self-control. Like as soon as we told him to come with us, he did. And considering how when the beast is out of control, vampires are willing to fight over basically anything. Unless this is like
Also-
a venture-specific beast thing. It doesn't sound like it's just beast.
Yeah, Chris is going to put up his hand as
Well,
asking for permission to speak.
since Sylvester put up his hand first, Loden will... And you can see, I don't think it's going to be too hard to see that Loden is so angry. Like, his gripping the armrests on his chair, like his knuckles are whiting even more than they already are. His jaw is just chewing a bit, but he is retaining his composure by a hair. He is not just leaping across the desk to destroy everything around him.
May I speak, please, sir? Or is this about time?
You may speak.
How we discovered this is I was out driving. I came across this child that presumably Neely had turned out on the streets, crying blood. If we hadn't interjected, this could very likely have been a Masquerade breach.
He's gonna look at Neely again. As far as I
Child
am
was left to
concerned,
fend for
already
herself.
Is Neely has violated at least 2 traditions. He says, just looking at Neely. Mr.
And
Keller, Mr. Keller, you
Um,
had something on your mind?
I'm not sure if you know this, my liege, but Mr. Neely was acting strange in the Succubus Club a couple of nights ago. He came in almost in a trance and attacked a poor, young, innocent person in front of the whole club. It was only thanks to the fact that myself and Mr. Charlie were there that it didn't escalate into a total masquerade beach. But what caught me at the time, 2 things really, my liege. The first is how his personality completely changed, how he wasn't himself and then he was. And the second is that he said that the girl wasn't his type. Now, I'm not going to ask what his type is, but you probably know, my liege. And think to yourself, is orphanage dwellers his type? Are young dancers his type? I'm thinking, like, it can't be just his beast that's making him do this, because surely his beast will make him chase after his type. Isn't that right? Like, as a venturer, he would want to hunt whatever he likes to hunt and not. I honestly think that there's something deeper than just the beast going on, some form of compulsion or what have you. I don't know how powerful you are in the arts of mind adjustment, but could you, with your powers, look into him and see if he has a compulsion placed there? Is that something you could do? And perhaps then we could solve the mystery of why he's acting so strangely.
Perhaps. Neely at this time, he's still kneeling, literally, on the floor, and you can see there are, in fact, bloody tears streaming down his face. That makes it 2 breaches of the Masquerade, Mr. Neely. Does it not? What do you have to say to yourself? Nothing more, my liege. I don't know what is going on with myself.
May I ask again, this time to Neely?
The prince will give you the gesture that you can go ahead.
Have anything changed in the time where you up to this? It's quite a drastic change for you.
Neely just shakes his head. Nothing.
No strangers speaking to you, whispering little thoughts into your ears.
Oh. Nothing.
Charlie will say, "Think any unfamiliar blood?"
No.
I know people of my clan can drive others mad with just a conversation, but this might be more than just that. Do you think you're affected, Neely, or is this just your downward path? A spiral that leads you to these mistakes?
I don't know. I don't know.
Looking at Neely, does he seem like genuinely confused? Or distraught?
Or just
Or is he just playing?
Yeah.
It looks to you like he's genuine about it. You have 2 automatic successes when taking half. If he is not genuine about it, he is a good actor. A very good actor, really. Given the state you find him in. His suit is rumpled, he's crying tears of blood, he just gave up. He hasn't tried to dominate any of you except for Chris Keller, and the only reason he tried to dominate Chris Keller was that he was physically attacking him in a frenzy. He could have just dominated all of you, one by one, probably. And he didn't.
That's the definition of damning with frame brain. He didn't mind control you. He could have, but he didn't.
No, if he had, being a Venture Elder, you gotta assume that he has at least Mesmerize, probably 1 power stronger than that as well, in Domination.
But he's not an elder, right? Do I have the terms wrong? For one thing, this guy is American, right? So he can't be that old. He's like maybe 100, 120 years old. Is that an elder, really?
In
Yes.
North America, it counts as an Elder, yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
In the Dark Ages, it would not have counted as an Elder at all. And in Europe, like, you have to hit 250 or 350 to count as an Elder.
Yeah,
there.
Europe.
He's at least
In
more
Europe, it would
powerful
still be
than...
an ancilla.
Yeah.
But yes,
Maybe like an old Ancilla, but yeah.
can he wipe someone's can Mr. Neely either do submerged directives or wipe someone's memories or things like that? It's entirely possible. Who's to say that he couldn't take the opportunity? It would have been tricky because dominating everybody at once is not a possibility unless you're super old. And the rest of you would have noticed that he would have mind wiped you. But he could have done it to Charlie when nobody else was around. And go, yeah, Charlie, you don't know that I was here. Go away. He didn't.
Charlie will say to Neely, "When exactly did this start?"
A few weeks ago. You saw me when I lost my control at the club.
Mr. Neely, you were at the opera house when the
Sabat.
the Sabbat attacked. Would you remember if you ran into them on your way to the Prince? Could they have, I don't know, there would have to be an elder there, but could there be, there could have been an elder there that did something? Because I remember it was right after that, I was actually taking a break from hunting them. That was the first time I noticed that that was the time of the incident at the Succubus Club. So, can you remember if you ran into some Sabbat that night, or?
Yes, he's gonna, Neely. That must be it. No, I don't remember running into... But maybe I've been controlled all along by by the Sabbat. I am a high-value target for them. If they can gain control over me, they can gain control over...
You do have a point, Mr. Neely. Although
It's just going to look... Oh, sorry, yeah.
Although I am curious about that one thing. Why did you turn that one child?
I had to.
Kate's just going to quietly point out if... Neely, if you are able to be turned by the enemy, then you are a liability to the tower currently.
As much as I want to think in good faith, I think Kate is right here.
We should just stake him, leave him out for the sun.
That is not for you to decide, says Loden.
Yes.
Yeah, Kate's gonna like just like, okay. Prince Loden, we do have other tasks that you have set for us, the hunting down of various Sabbat cells, amongst others. Would you like us to leave Neely in your custody and continue back to other missions?
Yes. Yes, I think that would be best.
You can rely on our discretion in this case.
Of course.
She's gonna try to get everyone to leave.
Yeah, you will notice that anyone who has, let's see now, we have wits and insight a little bit here. Not Goldtooth Charlie, you don't have enough of it, but... Oh, Chris Keller has a harm compulsion still, so you're also distracted by the world. But Kate Peretti, and definitely Sylvester, and Tony, yeah, Tony as well. Loden, right now, on the one hand, you have done the city an enormous service, so you have proven your loyalty to him, and he will not forget it. On the other hand, when you're like, yes, you can count on our discretion. Yeah, it's like sticking a needle in him again and again, just to make it hurt and remind him of the fact that he is indebted to you.
Also, like, his situation's pretty bad because all this bad shit has happened over the course of a year, and so far he's been relying on a couple neonates.
Oh, he has other people to rely on too, but
you get what I'm saying, though. It's like
these are the
so
neonates.
he's also
life boon too, so
yeah, he's also shadow boxing the Anarchs right now.
yes, he is.
We're definitely not the only tool in the fire right now. But I'm just like, Kate, okay, if we stay in this room longer, you guys are gonna get more and more comfortable giving suggestions to the prince, and that's not good.
Yes, I think Sylvester wants to leave, but just before it's time to do that, he is gonna ask the prince, I know now's not a good time, but perhaps another night I would like to talk to you about one of my premonitions. It has to do with the city.
Yeah, Loden does not have the patience for that right now. He's just gonna... One thing at a time, he says, with
of course,
clenched jaw.
I will give you all the time you need. And Sylvester's gonna have to kind of courteous nod, or what he thinks is a courteous nod, and then he's gonna leave. Looking if the coterie is coming with.
Yeah, we're all. Yeah. Hopefully, the rest of us are leaving.
Yeah, Tony's just getting up and just quietly heading towards the exit.
We don't want to be involved in whatever is about to happen in here. In the same way, we don't want to be involved in whatever's happening with the sheriff right now.
Yes, as amusing as it would be to see Prince loses shit. I don't want to be caught in the crossfire.
There might be a word or two yelled in the room after you leave, which I'm
Makes
sure
its way
people with
through the
heightened
elevator.
Yeah, exactly. People with heightened senses in the elevator would probably pick up on.
Do we even need heightened senses? He's yelling.
I imagine it's playing out like the bunker scene from Downfall.
Yeah, sound like that. Sound like that. Leave the room, and then everybody outside just hears the yelling. Though since you are leaving, you're not just leaving the room, you're also leaving like the floor and taking the elevator down, so sooner or later you will not be hearing the yelling anymore.
I wonder if when Lodin gets mad, does he do the Scandinavian thing of like your pitch getting higher when you're angry? Because that would be very funny. Apparently, Scandinavians do that when they're angry. Their pitch goes higher rather than lower, which is not very threatening.
Yeah.
This is why I would have issues playing a gruff character, because my pitch will go up all the time.
You are currently downtown Chicago. Mission accomplished, I guess. Neely has been delivered to Prince Loden. Nobody knows if he's going to survive the night, or if Becky is going to survive the night, or if Becky survived last night. But you did your job as loyal subjects of the prince. And
We all live in a society.
yeah. Speaking of which, let's have a look here, my friends. Let's see. Yeah, that's not
nice if we did work that didn't require like clandestine rewards. Like, we should have earned some status by now, but all of our stuff is hush.
Yes, this is true. He can't let anything... But I'm going to give Goldtooth Charlie an aggravated willpower healed, because I think your independence as a vampire is increasing because of your services to the prince.
We do already have one dot in status, so it's pretty decent.
You do, but that's just basic. Rise up the ranks of vampire society. Okay, even though it's technically supposed to be aggravated willpower damage and not superficial willpower damage, Tony, you feel better too, I think. And yeah, I guess Kate has found out who turned Becky, but you didn't spend any willpower, so you haven't lost any. You're not recovering yet either.
No. Although I may get, not that I need recovery, but I may get more the respective clan by what I'm about to tattletale.
Yes, because you're going to go to the Tremere Chanter next. Is this where the group splits up into all the different directions?
I feel like we should go back to the Haven just to discuss.
What I'm hearing is that if you love gossip, you should either join the Nosferatu or the Tremere.
The Toreador are the best gossipers.
Toreador are good. Avian, especially.
Yeah,
they're part of the cobweb.
You get the bits of gossip with the Tremere and the Nosferatu.
You don't want to be a Tremere in this current time scene.
Yep.
What?
Aside from the fact that things are about to go very wrong for them, right now, I am basically a mind-controlled slave. Look independent.
I'm just saying that one specific aspect of being a Tremere is good if you like gossip. Also, I don't know what happens.
It's good if you're higher up in the Tremere, sure.
Yes.
Just
the best
play any clan with auspex and heightened senses, and you get all the gossip you want.
Exactly.
I do know that eventually Venice gets
words.
Vienna, the chantry in Vienna eventually gets completely zonked. I do know that.
Oh, yep, probably.
Yeah, but that's not for another 10 years or more.
Yeah.
There's another thing that's also happening to the Tremere that I'm unaware of. Okay, cool.
But you are all now back to your, not chantry, your communal haven in Pilsen. It's 2 a.m. You've had a couple of emotional nights. It's, on the other hand, a good thing, I guess, that you're vampires and not humans, because that means that you do not, in fact, feel tired in that way. Like, your system is not gonna release adrenaline and the ensuing fatigue afterwards. It's just that emotional distress, but you've gone through that part as well. You've done your job as subjects of the prince. You're loyal to the Camarilla. Everything is fine, right?
Yep, absolutely fine.
Dex is very quiet while you're going back.
He's
Very
gonna
quiet.
look at the others and just say, before we discuss this, we need to check that no one's listening.
My eyes and ears are open. Oh, there's someone standing in the court over there. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Sorry.
Fucking kidding me?
Sorry.
Jesus.
Sylvester
but I will take a
opens
look.
his eyes to the unseen world. Is there any Nosferatu hidden in a corner? That has happened before.
Yes.
Hence why there was one in the room last time.
Exactly. Oh, did you want to roll, or are we just taking half?
I guess I could roll.
Taking
Sense
half
the
is wits and
unseen.
aspects, so it would be 2 successes on taking half.
I could just roll though. I
You
don't know how
could.
much it would help.
It's up to you.
That's all successes.
Wow.
Pretty good.
Okay.
And also, we both got lucky.
Very close to
My mind is
a
open to the
crit
ether.
on one of you. So both of you are seeing everything around you, and yeah, there is no hidden kindred anywhere. Or ghost, or wizard, or changeling, or guru.
Changeling.
There we go. I think I
Forgot about
covered
that for a
all.
moment.
I would feel sorry if there was a changeling in here. Like, that's not where they want to be.
No.
You never know. You never know. There's some silly changeling that I would vibe with probably.
Yeah, but this place is devoid of joy.
It's totally
You don't say that. I have a guitar. I can play some music.
the banality levels. Yeah. But it's true. I think Malkavians are the only kindred that changelings can tolerate hanging out with, if I remember correctly.
Maybe Toyota. Yet, like, the banality levels here enough to, like, basically just drop a changeling dead on the spot.
Once Kate and Sylvester are both cleared the area, she's gonna be like, okay.
Yes, no fairies in here. Other than me.
Yes. We need to stop stepping in this shit. This is not healthy for us. I know you didn't choose to do this, Sylvester, but I mean generally.
I know. What was I gonna do? Just leave a child out on the streets crying blood?
I get it, but the tone she's using is not the correct tone. But I get it. It's also, if you see someone losing their shit at a party, don't step in. Let someone in charge step in. We're not in charge.
I get you, but it's as they say. I'm not gonna be a bystander, because if I'm not gonna step up, who is going to step up? That's, what my fellas learned me when the party scene, so.
Yeah, I get it. If we become the holder of too many secrets, it is more efficient to get rid of us.
I getcha.
Also, the elders of the city, right now, it's fine when they keep secrets because they can defend their own secrets. Right now, I remember Tony getting bashed in the street like 2 weeks ago, and that wasn't even a targeted thing. I don't trust any of us to be able to keep the information we have under duress. So we should have less of it. That's all I'm saying.
Yes. Sylvester nods, meanwhile thinking about how he's part of a family that's all about sharing secrets.
Yeah, there's no guarantee that like another member of your family isn't listening to this conversation through Sylvester.
Oh, I probably can, for all I know.
Grandma
That
would
would
never
be
do
fun.
that. She's just
Grandma would never.
no. She's just
But the Malkavians are all like broadcasting to their madness net or whatever it is.
I don't have access to that yet.
Yes, you do.
Malkavian, you're part of it.
I can't tap into it willingly yet. That's a lore shit.
You don't need to be able to use it to not be part of it.
Yeah. They might be able to tap into me, but I don't know.
Yeah, so do you need any assistance with the spider room? I know I've been busy, and I'm sure a few of the others have been. If we could fortify that or help in some way, I think that would be good for us.
I mean,
So we don't have a
upping
singular point to be targeted.
security wouldn't be half bad.
They have
Probably
sprinklers.
Hmm?
They have sprinklers.
I need to check.
Want
A little
sprinklers?
unsure. I would assume. No, maybe not. I'll check.
It would seem to be the most obvious investment we could make, since that's our most obvious vulnerabilities.
when you are a vampire, there are two modes you can be in. Total paranoia or insufficient paranoia. What
Is Spider Room like that type of place that wouldn't have sprinklers, so cheap out and stuff?
It was a human nightclub first, right?
Yeah, it was. I'm just gonna roll the D10 and we'll find out, won't we?
It seems like the lady
Apparently
who
they
is
cheaped
running
out
it.
on the sprinklers. They are the mountings are there. The mountings for the sprinklers are there, but there may be connectivity issues with the water network.
They're just pipes connected to nothing.
The lady
There
knows
may
how
be
to
some
run the
plugging in
business,
there.
however.
This is one of those places that's going to end up on one of those nightclub fire documentaries.
Oh,
Exactly.
yes. It's
Like the Stardust.
Yeah.
Yes, this place is going to be
R.I.P.
put on an episode of Fascinating Horror on YouTube. Love that, indeed.
Look, right now we have a lot of political sway with the prince, but we don't have much influence or respect from the general population of the city. I think we should work on that.
Yes.
The spider
Late-
room that you've been working on is an amazing step in that direction.
I'm a real businessman now. Look at me.
Always, never doubted you.
I doubted you.
Leopold, do you know a good plumber by any chance?
No.
Check the fridge magnet.
Yeah, just look up the yellow pages.
Yeah.
Leopold.
I mean, yes, but it's better if
Yeah, I
you
know
know
a
a
guy.
guy, you know?
I know a guy.
I looked at crafting, honestly, not streetwise. So if we go by streetwise, then Leopold definitely knows somebody. But yeah. I just looked at craft.
Tony's
Technically, I do have one dot in contact, so maybe I could find a good plumber. Funny enough.
Your contact is your plumber.
If you try to find a plumber with Streetwise, you basically get one of the Watergate burglars.
Like, they'll put piping in, but there will be less copper in the building than when they entered.
You get one of those people that like does it very, very cheap off the records, but there's so many like flaws that will eventually crush the entire building. There's gonna be a gas explosion, and you don't know it until it's too late.
It's gonna be
They've
fine.
got
in
the
other words.
hookup on a
Fine.
stockpile of lead pipes that have been decommissioned. And there's no one's drinking from them, so what's the big deal?
Exactly.
Blowing up from a gas explosion? What could go wrong?
Yeah. You'll get all the plumbers who are working the black market, basically. The people who don't have a license because they were too poor to get one. Many of them you will probably have to speak to in not English.
just a above table question. What are the current missions that we have?
Catch the spot,
Find the
really. That's
Yeah, technically.
that's that. And then
Well, we caught their leader, so
Yeah, we
anything
did.
past that is diminishing returns.
Unless the leader isn't their most powerful mind controller, and the one who messed with Neely is still out there.
Yeah, if
Well,
that theory is correct.
We're pretty sure from Sylvester's visions that the Sabat group was just a tool for someone else's plan. I'm just like, is there any way we could start finding out what else is happening in the city, sort of thing? Because
Were there cameras at the Opera House when Kate did the cleanup? Did we get any tapes?
no.
Because if we can see what happened to Neely, if what happened to him happened there, we might be able to figure out who did it.
It's 1991.
Kate got
Unfortunately, cameras are not very prevalent.
Yep.
Yeah, Kate got the physical
Oh.
evidence. She didn't get any of the tech
Sure.
stuff.
Charlie, wasn't your friend with him that night?
Yeah, that was my other thought. I can ask Emily about what happened that night and what she saw.
Yeah, and maybe Sylvester or Kate could go with you because they might be able to notice if she's been, like, if her memory has been altered with.
That's not something I can tell.
Okay, fair enough. I was just putting the
Yes,
idea out
I
there.
do believe that's quite advanced.
Okay, I guess we'll just have to read her. Just ask does she remember what happened, like where, because when I got to the tower, she wasn't there. And when I was outside, like I was outside with the sheriff, she wasn't there either. And I didn't see her again till the night you brought her on a date. So she went somewhere. She wasn't with Neely. So where was she?
She's immortal, right? Or a ghoul?
She's immortal.
I'm guessing she went to sleep, or woke up, or did other people shit.
Yeah, maybe, but it'd be worth asking her if she remembers what happened that night.
Did anybody see Neely again that night after he was in his box?
I didn't know. I didn't see him till the prince's office. He was there ahead of me.
So we
I
don't have
wonder,
any.
Is the queen on the chess table using Neely as a piece? I wonder. I don't know how to play chess, but I'm just guessing here, guys.
In the specific iconography of the vision, did it look like the chess player was in Chicago or playing Chicago from outside?
Storyteller?
I was in Chicago, probably. It was hard to tell. Like, it was a large looming figure above the city.
I don't know, but it's quite vague. Maybe I could try calling it forth again, but
I'm guessing we can pull out a chessboard that's in the Haven, right?
yeah, we probably have a chessboard.
Like, I guess we tried to set up the pieces how Sylvester saw them to probably help jog his memory, or maybe to get a better understanding of who it looked like was winning, or even which side was being played by who.
Loden was playing chess with another person. Who's the other person?
By any chance, does any of us play chess well enough to be able to look at the board and see more symbolic things it might be suggesting?
What would even be the skill for chess? I have
Yeah,
no clue. Something intelligence, question mark?
Yes, something intelligence.
I think Kate would at least know how to play. And
Yeah,
probably
I'm thinking
good at it,
intelligence.
but I don't know whether that's
Since
the
it's-
same as reading into it.
Since it's not a skill per se, I'd probably put it under
It's
like,
more so, yeah, dependent on
intelligence,
who you're
composure,
playing
maybe.
against.
but there is like a whatchamacallit, a skills chess, or at least remembering the openings and stuff. So maybe
Yeah,
it's
but not in the
like
current.
Hmm.
maybe it's its own type of academics, like chess, history of chess.
We set that up, and we try to get Sylvester to set up the board how they saw it in the vision.
Yeah.
And then see whether we can get any more information from that.
Just out of character, I sometimes use intelligence awareness for trying to remember stuff or for critical thinking, but it's up to the storyteller.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Yes, we
Reddit
can-
argues that it's academics with specialization in chess. I don't know if I agree
That,
with it.
Probably.
that's what I just said.
Yeah, that's what
but
you just said. Yeah.
But yeah,
And
you
damn
could
it,
probably
I have
use
to change my position now.
intelligence. Yeah.
Be that as it may, Charlie has a lot of intelligence, and
Yeah,
that's
it's-
good for him.
Could probably also be different depending on who you're playing against, because you can use insight or whatever, or deception.
Subterfuge.
Yeah. Sorry, I was playing D&D last. Fun enough. I was playing chess in D&D, which I voiced why I said deception. And it does have a custom skill for chess, believe it or not.
Anyhow,
Yes.
there will, as you're discussing things to and fro, the phone will ring. Who is the leader of this coterie? Do we have an appointed leader? It's a very flat organization, isn't this?
It feels like it's accidentally just Kate.
Yeah. She is.
He
she
makes
is
a
the
lot of
traitor.
decisions, but also that's because a lot of people step back from the decision making. But yeah.
Meanwhile,
I
Sylvester
guess.
is just like always off doing something else.
I think Kate has defaulted to leader because she's most reliably at the have. Yeah, she'll pick up the phone.
Yeah, on the other end, you will hear Natasha's voice, actually.
Ghoul?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
This is Natasha. I'm calling on behalf of you know who.
We do.
He has passed judgment. The accused has been found violating several bylaws and is paying a penance in bonding and is released on his own reconnaissance for now. However, he is to be under surveillance.
Understood.
I understand
Did we? Yes.
your coterie is quite busy now hunting the intruders to these domains, yes?
Yes, we've been doing some debt collection, trying to at least, but the person seems to be running away quite quickly. It's hard to track. Do you have any information that could be of use in that search?
No new information.
He does need to
unfortunately.
pay his debts.
Yes, unfortunately, this story with this particular transgression has been a distraction.
Yes, it appears maybe you did, and maybe the authorities, when you put in with the proper departments, have gathered any information or have heard something that could be of use to us. I hear you've got influence there.
I will speak with the law enforcement and get back to you.
Yeah. The IRS is pretty fickle these days, aren't they? But
Very
hopefully
much
they can be
so.
helpful. Is that all?
Yes, indeed.
Have a good night.
As to you. Oh, not quite all. I just recalled. You will probably be getting a visitor soon. Mr. Nathaniel
Tonight,
Brodruff.
or
Yes, indeed. Mr. Nathaniel Brodruff expressed a desire to thank you in person. So he should be there shortly.
of course. Out of character, do we know Nathaniel? Do I know Nathaniel?
You've heard of him.
Do we know what he is about?
The church. A church, specifically. One specific church.
Okay. And not a vampire church? So not like
No.
Canine or anything?
He has powers over one specific church, which is... Let me check again. A Church of Christ.
Fair enough.
Hallelujah.
That's what it's called.
We'll make sure to put out our best greeting party. Thank you for the heads up.
And just
He is
as
most welcome.
Charlie heard you even say Nathaniel Brodruff on the phone, started leafing through Lodin's list. Yeah, he's a Nosferatu Ancilla, as mentioned, Church of Christ, and Lodin thinks he's loyal and reliable.
Yeah, but he also thought Neely was loyal and reliable.
Oh, wait, we're getting a visitor.
Yeah. Look,
Yeah. Once she says thank you, and we'll be ready, and hangs up the phone.
if we're getting a visitor, I need to go and hunt because I need to.
Surely you can hold for a few more hours.
He is hungry. He is really hungry.
I don't know how long more.
Just don't overexert yourself, you'll be fine.
And while we're
Have some-
waiting for both the visitor and for any more chessboard visions, Charlie will use his phone to set up a meeting with Danov tomorrow night because it's a bit late this night to be trying to go over to Gary. But there's a lot of things to talk about with Danov, so we'll get that on the books now.
Let's see if you reach Danov. What are these new... Okay, you're lucky today. What are these newfangled things called telephones, anyway? But apparently, you can set up a meeting with Danov. Yeah. Which is going to be in the usual place, which is that abandoned church in Gary, yeah.
You know, I'm starting to see that the church in Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet.
Probably, yes. That would make sense.
Right.
Chris, are you going to get some food, or are you...
Yeah,
Risky.
Kate's not the boss of me. I'll go get. That was more of a. I'm telling you, I'm doing this rather than asking permission.
All right. You are a siren.
Yeah, can I go to a pub? I also have a harm compulsion, so can I go
Yes.
to a pub where a guy like a pub or bar like where a guy like Chris would stand out?
Yes. Of course you can. Your streetwise is not terribly high, mind you. So you might not know where to find one around here.
Oops.
I am a cruel and heartless game master. Clearly, the storyteller is like that. So, let's see. What kind of difficulty level could we put to this? You've been to this area quite a lot. So, let's say moderate. So, you need 3 successes to find a place like that on regular. This is Thursday night. It's the Wednesday night. It's the night after Wednesday. So,
It's the 4th of July. People are likely awake at this point.
it's been the 4th of July for 2 hours. I'm thinking the big celebrations will be tonight, after the day. Though I'm sure in a big city like this, there will be some partygoers out there.
Probably a few
Oh, yes.
gunshots.
Anyway, Chris, you'll need 3 successes to find that kind of a establishment, particularly in Pilsen. This is not the nightclub district at all.
I said our pub
Yeah,
bar.
yeah,
So what do I need to roll? Wits plus streetwise, is it?
yeah.
Okay. This is gonna go horribly unless hopefully I won't botch it. Like I have 4 fucking 100 dice. I'm gonna botch it and just hate somebody. But whatever. That'll do my harm compulsion anyway. Yeah, all 3 are hunger dice. That's
Of
how
course
hungry
they
I
are.
am.
Chris
That
Keller
looks
in
like 3
Pilsen.
successes.
That
That's 2
is not 3
successes.
successes.
No.
It's 2 successes. You are unable to find such an establishment. So, are we going back again, or are we staying out hunting?
Okay, since I can't find a bar, are there people on the streets?
Yeah, ish. 2:30 in Pilsen. Not many, but some, because it's a big city.
Okay, I'm just gonna pick a person who looks alone and try to seduce them here now.
Okay.
Just start chatting them up.
Charisma
On the
subterfuge,
street.
difficulty 5. Let's go.
Difficulty 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're literally just
Also-
walking up to person in the street with no particular romantic surroundings, a person who may not
Can
be
I-
open to this idea at all.
Can I use persuasion? Because
Nope.
I'm trying to persuade them.
Nope.
Why not?
Because it's the stalk. You're a subterfuge type of person. This is
I'm
literally
not.
your...
I'm a persuading type of person.
No, that comes when you're doing the feed. The subterfuge
Okay.
is during the stalk. Persuasion comes in the feed.
Okay. So charisma. Can I use awe?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Like I'm going to kill this
I'm
person.
such a
probably.
nice guy. Everybody likes me.
To be fair, most like he is giving you a second chance because like most of the time when you fail a feed roll on the night, you just fail for that night completely.
Yeah. Charisma, subterfuge, +2 dice for your presence. Difficulty 5. Because you are the charmingest man walking these streets. Oh, and you're also beautiful. Let's not forget about that. That's an extra die. on
Okay.
top of
Did I
everything.
succeed? If I
Well,
succeed,
you did
I won't
succeed,
roll it.
yes. You did
Okay.
succeed. So, yeah, you find someone who is actually open to a little bit of hanky-panky on the side, because you're just gorgeous, aren't you? And charming and nice, and you laugh a little bit. Who wouldn't want to go with Ryan Gosling home, right? This person is... or they are, I don't know. Do we have any gender preferences here?
No, Chris is so hungry. He's one step from going for like a dog at this point.
All right. She's a cheerful young lady, maybe 20, 21, moves very well. As an athlete, you will recognize the athletic body she has. And it's summer. She'll have shorts and top or something. And she's, you know what? The night doesn't have to be over yet. And it's the 4th of July. This is a great idea. So your difficulty here for the feed is actually just going to be a manipulation persuasion at against a 2.
Oh, that's one,
An automatic
2,
success, isn't it?
3. Yeah, automatic success, I think.
So, yeah, you will be... Chris finds himself walking with this young lady into maybe an alleyway to make out, and then he bites. And you feel the vitae coming into your mouth and pouring down your throat and heating up that icy cold body of yours, because by Hunger 4 you are ambient temperature, which is not what a human body should be like. I will invite you to roll a frenzy check, because you are that level of hungry. And
Okay,
that is going to be against difficulty 3.
4 dice, difficulty 3. No, sorry, girl.
You can't help yourself. The moment you taste that sweet blood, the beast just takes over completely, and the red haze descends over your eyes. You think you're just shutting your eyes completely and just enjoying, savoring the moment. You don't even notice how she's writhing in passion and pain in your arms. Or is it passion and ecstasy? And then she slowly starts fading. And after some time, you don't know how long time it was, but when you wake up from all this, the harm compulsion will be gone,
Oh, that's bad.
and the hunger will be completely gone,
Oh, that's worse.
and you will look at this young lady lying in the alleyway, completely bloodless, pale, white lips, eyes cracked, staring empty at the wall, the opposite wall. There is no life left in her.
Oh, bollocks.
Dead.
Okay, I need to. Where are we? Are we like in an alley or something?
You are in an alley, yes.
Okay. Calm down, calm down. How far am I from like the river?
Gee, that's a good question. Pilsen from there. It's not necessarily super far away, actually. I need the maps. Tough. Let me see. About maybe a mile and a half?
Oh, that's too far. Is there like one of those big, like trash cans that you have in America, like the really big
Oh,
ones?
the
that, like,
dumpsters?
yeah.
They are very present in place. Let's have a roll and see, shall we? Let's see how lucky you are tonight.
Not very lucky. I
Nope,
just killed somebody.
not at all.
Oh, bollocks.
You know what? We're gonna let Mr. Keller think about his sins and what he's done and how he's gonna get himself out of this, while we take a 5-minute break. We will be right back, everyone. Welcome back. And while Mr. Keller is out having trouble, there will be a knock on the door.
I guess I'll answer it. Or wait, no, one of the guards will answer it.
I guess they
Just
will.
about to set up my solo jazz.
This is why we have guards.
Oops.
When the door is open, they get blasted first, so we get a warning.
Yeah, what the guards will in fact say that there is a priest here to see you.
Oh, hallelujah.
Obviously, let him in.
Leo and Dex are here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Through the door comes a priest, in fact. Yeah, he's dressed in a long black cloak and black clothes. Is there a collar somewhere there? Yeah, there is. And he has a hat, a fedora, really.
Wait a minute, I just realized something.
Yeah.
The sleep schedule of the guards makes absolutely no sense.
They go on rotation.
Okay,
Yep.
then. So I guess it's two at night, 3 in the day.
Sound like that.
To be fair, Sylvester repeatedly tries to ask Leopold to sleep more, but Leopold is very bad at listening.
Yes, he is. He is devoted to his master Sylvester. There's
Hunters.
no
My dogs.
his judgment is in no way impaired by the fact that he's drinking Sylvester's blood
Yeah, it's
on a regular basis.
guard what you love conviction is coming in strong. A little too strong sometimes, but
He guards Sylvester. He gets sleep sometimes, maybe a couple of hours here and there. He can't sleep during the day because then he has to guard Sylvester, but he can't sleep during the night because then Sylvester is awake and he needs to protect him. Anyway, the priest is coming in, and just as a face, it's a very average-looking face, honestly. He will lift his hat, of course, now that he's indoors, and look around a little bit, and then he will bow. Good evening,
You are welcome.
ladies, gentlemen.
If it's more comfortable, you can relax your disguise. Everyone in the Haven is accustomed to our traits.
I see. I will not shock you then with my visage.
It would be so embarrassing if it's so bad. As soon as he drops it, Kitty's screaming, "Put it back!"
I don't think that's gonna happen.
the funny thing is, I think Leopold has only seen one Nosferatu, maybe.
As long as he keeps his mouth shut, then he's fine.
Yeah.
Keep that judgment internal.
He's gonna drop the guys then. And in front of you stands a tall, gaunt Nosferatu. He's bald. He has a minuscule nose. It's hardly even there. And two little fangs jutting out, but a fairly hefty triangular chin. And very small beady eyes. My name is Nathaniel Brodruff. Thank you for permitting me to enter your domain.
We were informed of your arrival, so we're always happy to have polite guests.
You're too kind. Speaking of which, he is actually pretty polite, because he has some charisma to get going here, and he's definitely going to put his best foot forward, as it were. So there.
We don't know the nature of this meeting, but it has been a long night for us. If you could tell us what you would like to discuss.
I see.
Unfortunately, one of our members is away right now, but I'm sure, well, they may be back in time.
Perhaps. Well, be that as it may be, he says, I understand that I wanted to come here and simply pay my respects and thank you in person. Some time ago, and it has been too long, but I suppose we all have our duties and responsibilities to attend to, he says. Some time ago, you found a kinsman of mine, one who calls himself a lucid.
Oh, fuck.
And you delivered him to the prince. I simply wish to thank you for this. It is... I owe you a major boon for your assistance in this. Elucid has long evaded my pursuit. Some time ago, Prince Loden granted me the right to sire a child. Elucid is that child. But he, very embarrassingly, managed to escape before I could teach him properly our ways and present him to the prince in the proper manner. Ever since, I've heard rumors of him stalking the sewers and joining up with, well, all sorts of less savory elements in our society. It has been an ongoing embarrassment for my person, truly. And you have now spared me of this, now that he is returned properly to his place.
No problem, man.
We are thankful that he is reintegrated, at least. He could be a valuable member with his talents.
Were you ever to need the services of one of my kind, you have but to call upon me. And he's going to hand over a card that does say the Church of Christ. My people, I have a ghoul within this church. I will be happy to answer and take any messages and deliver them to me.
That would be very generous of you. On a possibly related question, my friend Sylvester here had a
Yeah.
vision of a church in the city, but we weren't able to identify it. Is it possible you would be able to, if we described it to you, give you more information, would you be able to identify the church or building that it belonged to?
It can't hurt to try. Will say that my network within the clergy is limited to a single church. I have not ventured into trying to spread my connections into the larger organizations, faith-based organizations.
We only worry because there's a chance they are connected to hunters, and it is our only lead.
Yes, indeed. That is quite prudent of you. I would agree with your assessment.
And yes, Father, I think you might be more knowledgeable on the topic compared to someone as gestures to his whole self. Someone like me.
Is that a small, a wry smile in the corner of Mr. Broadruff? Maybe. Indeed. Please, do share. I will do my best to help you in this matter, of course. I owe you that much at the very least.
Yes, it will look something like he explained what he saw because me, the character, the player, doesn't fully remember. So he will try his best to describe what he saw in the vision.
Can Sylvester draw to any level? Because being able to draw the visions would really help.
He has no points in craft.
No craft.
Just performance.
No.
Mime the building.
I mean, he can try, but it'll be just scrolling some more. But he can describe something quite decently, I would think.
I will mime my message. Yeah, you're trying to describe it, and Mr. Broadruff is listening with a tilted head and those enormous ears that just stick out from his skull, like 90-degree angle, basically. I'm afraid it doesn't sound like any church building I'm familiar with. So sorry to disappoint.
Then we have at least yours crossed off the list.
Indeed. You said you were busy with other affairs. Would you require my assistance in any of these affairs?
Give that up to Sylvester.
Not currently, but if anything comes up, I'll suppose I know where to reach you.
And Charlie, before this ends, Charlie will ask him, you have specialities in particular we could call upon you for?
Like all of my kind, I am skilled at walking in the shadows without being seen.
His Latin is also probably better than mine.
I wish it were so, he says. Unfortunately, since the church that I have invested my interest in is not in fact... It is using the vernacular English for services, and I have not needed to.
So no in nomine patri, I got it, and I do the...
I have not invested in the Catholic Church. But I know one or two things, perhaps, about occult matters, though I believe Miss Peretti should probably know more than me.
You're well versed. But we have been quite busy of late. My apologies, yes, it's... If we find an appropriate time to call upon you, your talents and your skills will be greatly appreciated in defense of the city.
Of course. I shall then bid you good night. Miss Peretti, gentlemen. And he's going to put his fedora back on, and unless someone wants to stop him.
Does anyone else want to talk to him?
Nice hat, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in person. It was a good gesture. Thank you.
The least I can do. Have a good continued night and a happy Independence Day, he says, smiles a little bit.
Of course.
Meanwhile,
slip mine. Meanwhile, dragging a body towards a river.
Chris is dragging a body somewhere, isn't he?
Is there any of those manhole thingies?
Oh, absolutely. There has to be. That's like in all streets.
Okay, so I'm going to lift one of them up and go down and take her down into the sewers.
All right.
Do you know how heavy those things are, by the way?
Yeah.
Oh my god, my dog's here. Say hi to my dog.
Hi to your dog. He has...
There was this girl down the road from me when I was a kid. She decided to... I know she went under them, and I remember how I would...
Anyway, feats of strength. We're talking about manhole cover.
Athletics.
That requires 3 strength to do it automatically, which you have, so you can do it, Chris.
Yep. So I lift up the manhole cover, like shove the girl down, and go into the sewers, closing the manhole cover as I go down.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Drag her down and splash, and then down you go, and now it's stinky.
Yeah. And then I guess I'll take her to somewhere that, oh Jesus, I wouldn't be able to recognize this as Chris, but it's like somewhere that only if the water will only get here if it floods, kind of thing.
Yeah, that seems like a science thing.
Okay, I just don't know. Okay,
No.
I guess I'll just
Can you
drag
see?
the body to a dark corner and leave it there, and then get out of here.
He has heightened senses, so as long as there is just a little bit of light, he can see something down there.
Yeah, now thinking about it, it would make sense if every vampire carried those little things that open manhole covers, because they don't take up much space. They're just like a little T-shaped piece of metal with a length of wire on them, so you could
here-
coil it up small and carry it in a pocket. And considering the ability that will give you to, if nothing else, get out of the sun, you'd think that would be almost like in the introduction to being a vampire package.
And
You know,
here,
just
my
carry this
fledgling,
thing to open manhole covers.
is one of my key recommendations to you. Here, you get a golden one.
I looked up how much they weigh, and it's anywhere from 50 to 100 kilos. What the fuck?
Yeah, they're usually made of wrought iron.
Yeah.
Most people can't lift 50 kilos.
No, but Chris is
Yeah.
he has strength 3, so
He's slightly above average.
yeah.
Thing
I'm
is,
just
I
going by this is
could
literally
if I had
what the
that proper
comic says.
grip, but otherwise it's hard.
So eventually, we're gonna, because I'm guessing, yeah. So eventually, Chris is getting back to the others, and now you're smelling. But you are back at the Haven. Shortly after, you will have missed, of course, this glorious moment with Mr. Broadruff. But you are back at the Haven, and
Why do you smell like shit?
I fell into your pile.
No, you didn't.
My God.
You didn't.
yeah, he smells horribly.
Tony's gonna do like a insight.
But he
Wits.
looks nice and flushed and rosy cheeked, everything, so he must have had some success with his hunting.
Yeah, he didn't fall into.
That's an obvious lie because there
Yes.
are no manure piles in Chicago. It's a big city.
Oh, sorry, you said manure pile. Oh, yeah.
That's a lie that says mind your own business.
Listen, if you want to do the hanky-panky in the sewers, I'm not gonna judge, but it seems a little out of character for you.
Did you even hide the body properly?
Maybe not. Maybe go fuck yourself.
Yeah, fuck you too. Shit ass.
As long as it doesn't become a problem later. But please don't walk around the Haven smelling like that. Clean yourself up.
Take a fucking shower, nasty ass motherfucker.
these
Oh yeah, I got
these
the new,
kindred
new,
speak to each other in such a nice and familial way.
Oh
don't
yeah,
they?
by the way, you should try out my new soap. It's in the second bathroom, if you want to try.
Silence
Yeah, I
falls
guess-
over the table.
Yeah, Kat, are you gonna respond, or are you just gonna?
Chris
Chris
slowly.
will say, "Okay, I just came back to call to drop in, and I'll go back to my own place and wash up and change and stuff. Unless there's anything
Are you
we need
gonna
to do tonight."
travel all the way across town, stinking like that?
Chris, we have a shower. You can use the
Okay,
shower.
I'll go for a quick shower before I go first.
Yeah,
But I need
that's
to
a good
change your
idea.
clothes too and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, is anyone else gonna do anything else for the rest of the night? You have about 2
Just
hours before sun. Yes, the sun will come up in 2 hours and a bit.
Kate's just gonna work on the learning package that she
You're
got.
putting in all the work on that, aren't you?
Yeah, I want him to be back out on the street where he's helpful. He's a shit teacher.
Yes, he is. All right, let's have a look here.
Yeah, that's all. That's all I'm gonna do, which just
we have
requires me to
some
sit and
projects
mark.
here. Let's see. Just checking in on the projects. We have Chris trying to open a gym, but it's 8 dice on the project dice. Tony's influence is 10 dice. The spider room, we didn't start a new project on that, did we? Because you just
I don't
completed
think
one.
Yeah, I haven't started a new one.
So you just completed one. 2 hours before dawn, you could have the time to do something with project-wise if you wanted.
I was going to do the thing where I look at the chess and then try to have a premonition.
Ah, okay, let's go.
We're trying to say this 4 times.
I'm sorry. Yes, you have, and I have not. I'm
Say the
so
fifth.
sorry.
Because that was the plan before Nathaniel arrived.
Yes. All right. So let's give you premonition.
Look, y'all can do that. I'm gonna head out and try and grab something to eat.
Wait. So first, I think Sylvester is gonna do what Kate recommended: get the chessboard, put the pieces on the table, just place them like roughly how he remembers, like the chess board on in Lodin's place looking like. It's probably not gonna be perfect because it's a long time ago.
It's a long time ago, and your intelligence is not that high, so it's gonna be like, I think it was like this. I don't recall
I
anyone
have a
taking
total of
pictures of
4 dice if I use intelligence awareness, but it's not gonna be perfect. It just doesn't have to be perfect.
it. It's more of a focus for you.
Yeah, I think call for divisions, which I will do after placing the pieces. So, premonition time. I am going to... Should I bother blood searching this? I could. Don't know how much it would help me, but alas. Oh my goodness, I am willpowering that. What the fuck?
That doesn't look so good.
Now it's
better
3
now.
successes.
3 successes, which means that it is not, in fact, a bestial failure.
Yippee.
Yippee. Okay, and you're using the chessboard as your focus.
Yes, he's trying to call it fort, using it as a focus. Like, he's picturing like each of the, I suppose, queens in this case as these different antagonists against each other. All the other pieces, he's like thinking, oh, he's pointing at the pawn and missed some those quote unquote sabbath we encountered, or are they not? Is Neely one of the pawns? Who knows?
Who knows? Yes, you can see pawns moving on their own across the chessboard. Several pawns. There's more pawns than there are on a regular chessboard. Like, the number of pieces on the chessboard is just multiplying and multiplying. There's gonna be... How many pieces are in each? I don't even know how many pieces are in a chessboard normally.
I don't remember on the top of my head.
Is it 8 aside a chessboard? That like it's 8 squares to a side.
Yeah, it's 32
it's
pieces in total. So this one is
Okay.
probably going to have twice as many, or 50 or so. You don't know. It's just...
I'm not playing a chess anymore. I'm playing a war game.
Yeah, a little bit like that. And flashing before you, the chrome reflection in the chessboard of an elevator panel. And then you hear a ding, and then you hear a payphone beeps. There are 3 tones in cadence. 10, 40, and then 10. A pager screen illuminates. Only 1 digit survives, 33. There is a pawn. No, it's not a pawn. It's a bishop. It's a bishop on its falling over. It's you can see behind the bishop a shadowy tower looming. You can see a pawn running from the bishop. She looks very scared and has long red hair. And then you snap back again.
Very interesting. I think while he has this vision, he probably is just idly moving the pieces. In a trance, perhaps. Almost as if he's playing with himself, but not that kind of playing with himself, playing a game with himself. But the kind of other person on the other end is him also moving the pieces, but in his mind, he's a different person. Very interesting. A bishop, a hunter, maybe. Or is it?
Now you have something to think about. While in Pilsen, poor Pilsen neighborhood, it's haunted by vampires. Never go to Pilsen, you guys. You might be eaten by vampires.
Yeah, I'm taking Dexter along.
Of course you are.
Yeah,
And you're gonna
shit!
jump someone, aren't you?
Yeah,
Because
and
you do.
since Dexter is helping me, can he give me an extra dice for the search roll? The hunt roll?
Why not? Isn't it nice to have a ghoul always at your side? As far as he's concerned, you're just mugging a guy.
Exactly! And this is free successes needed for the area?
Where are we going? What kind of hunting ground are you looking for this time?
Pilsen, probably in an area nearby, maybe with some rivals or something.
Okay, so we're talking about a street corner with a broken lamppost.
Exactly.
Difficulty 2.
Oh shit. Alright, that's easy. I just take half.
Alright. Who are you finding this time?
Please be a homeless guy. Please be a homeless guy.
You find... you find a young buff guy. This is 3 a.m. Must have been at a party, but had the time to sober up. Probably a wannabe gang member. Broad-chested, ready for anything, and is gonna defend his corner from any invaders. Not your gang, though, obviously.
Yeah, I'm gonna just try and sneak up behind him and basically put a gun to the back of his head so that
The feed check is a strength and brawl.
Oh, in that case, then strength brawl,
and we want 4 difficulty.
Grappling, definitely. And also, can I get an extra dice since Dexter is helping me with this?
Yes, why not?
All right, how many successes do you want?
Guy. 4.
All right. Okay, damn, I'm 1 dice away. Oh wait, actually, nope, 4 successes. Nice.
There is 4 successes. So, yeah, Dex will be like, yo, you! And draw the pistol just ever so slightly, and the other guy's going for his gun, and then you come from behind and just jump and just, ugh, and he never had a chance. You are just feeling that lovely sensation of blood coming down your gullet. And I believe you don't even have to roll a frenzy check, so sate yourself, Tony.
Groovy.
Is mugging a stain on humanity? It's not, because Tony and Dex have convictions. Because technically mugging someone would probably be a stain. Or, oh, I haven't put the tenants on Dex, of course, but So, violating the boundaries and well-being of another depletes the soul, which is definitely a thing you do as an alley cat, right?
Yep.
But you are also someone with the strong will do what they will to the weak.
That's a really fun one.
So,
Man, I need to fucking like ghoul Sinbad at this point.
possibly. That could be your next project.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Liberal? I don't know why I said liberal.
I don't know either. Yeah,
Liberal.
4 a.m. It is Charlie, what are you doing during this time? Chris is going back to his place, right?
Charlie will just have been helping with the chessboard vision and getting it all noted down. And the number we saw on the pager, was that, I don't know, so if it's just 2 digits that Sylvester can remember, that's not really a lot to go on. But if we does out of all the phone numbers we've been dealing with, does that match up to any? Do any of them have 35 in them? Oh wait a minute, maybe the 35. Maybe it wasn't just sending a phone number. Maybe it was sending like an apartment number, since there were elevator or telling somebody where to go.
Could be.
We could check, see if any of the phone numbers we've been using have a 35 in them.
They do not, unfortunately. No.
Yeah, so it's been quite a few days. So I guess Charlie, if that's not maybe just like a couple of hours left to go, Charlie will just lounge around with a book until it's time to sleep.
Chris's Haven, nice place. Sharon isn't here. Cammy is here because she's an annoying stalker. Yeah. So when you come home at about 4-ish, she's gonna be asleep because that's what normal people are at 4 a.m. Except this time, maybe she's not asleep just to be annoying because she is a stalker and that's what stalkers do. Let's see. How lucky are you today? Okay, you're lucky. She's sleeping.
Okay, she's sleeping. Is she like in the bed?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god.
Dressed in underwear, basically.
What is my reaction? Okay, do I have any like scarves?
Any what? Scarves? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure you do.
I'm gonna like tie her to the bed.
What?
What?
Okay.
Man moment.
What? She's sleeping, and you're gonna violate the boundaries and well-being of another by tying her to the bed.
I'm tying her to the bed. Like,
What are you cooking, Jan?
what I'm trying to do is like tie her into the bed in a sexy way. You get me?
But she's sleeping. You'll have to wake her up first.
Yeah.
Hashtag consent.
Yep.
What are you doing?
If you're just doing it
The
to her when
worst
she's
possible
sleeping.
option. He does in every situation.
What?
Because otherwise there will be more stains, and you already have filled stains, so...
Jan, I'm begging you, don't become the Spaniard. I'm begging you.
You can get more stains. It does cause damage to you.
It will cause
Yeah, like
willpower
willpower
damage. Like
damage.
aggravated willpower damage is what it causes.
Okay, honestly I thought this was just something a vampire would do if they found somebody.
Some, because they're horrible, sadistic, terrible people with low humanity, but Chris is not that. Kate might do it and get away with it.
Okay, what's something romantic-y? Romantic, but
Wake her
creepy
up
because
with a
Chris is
flower
vampire.
under her nose, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, yes, I'll put a rose, like, in her hand.
That is much more romantic, yes.
Maybe you could put like a dead bat if you wanted to do creepy.
No, a rose is creepy enough because that's still being, like, moving her around while she's asleep. That still is slightly violating.
You can write a little note, be like, I
No,
love
that's
you.
too romantic. See, vampires can't be romantic.
I watch you sleep.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, if you do it like
you gotta get this guy a leash or he's gonna pull a Shinji, man.
She is not going to wake up regardless, unless you
Yeah.
start shaking her awake, because she's sleeping very deeply.
Yeah. So I'll just put like a rose into her hand to show, just to be creepy and romantic.
She's gonna be just more infatuated by you, I'm sure, after this, so...
Yeah, that's what we're going with. Remember,
Somebody sleeping in a bed with a rose in their hand. That basically is the cover of a vampire book.
yes, it is.
That is the old cover, yes.
So, see,
Alright.
this is part of my plan to turn her from a stalker into somebody semi-useful.
That makes sense, yeah. But we're not rolling for progress dice right now, are we? Because
No.
you have 10 anti-dice, and that's gonna be bad.
No, like, not everything I do is like roll. Sometimes I'm just like role-playing the actions I'm taking.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Alright. It seems to me that the coterie is going to sleep, and going to wake up on the sunset of July 4th, which is 8:30. And no one has Humanity 8 in this group, right? No. That's just no.
That's 150 XP away.
Something like that. I
Those
disagree
3
with
years.
the XP cost
3
that
years
they have
away.
imposed on this, so I'm fine with lower XP costs. We'll discuss that. We have already discussed it a little bit. But the highest humanity vampire, this means that Chris gets to roll a remorse check before going to bed, because...
I just killed somebody.
Yeah, and that's going to be on your mind as you're going to bed. Let's see if
Yeah.
you will feel any remorse.
I hope I don't.
You want to
Because-
lose humanity?
I don't know. I feel like you should lose humanity for killing somebody in cold blood, if you get me.
You didn't do it in cold blood. It was an impassioned manslaughter.
Yeah, but that makes that poor
That's a
girl
legal
alive.
term, not a moral term.
You're right,
Oh.
that is, but the
I went
society
down-
morality is that it's generally lower degree of evil than cold-blooded killing. You,
know what
are,
that
in
means,
fact...
Chris?
Yeah, remorse
You can no
fails.
longer enjoy sex.
Exactly.
Oh.
Chris is like, what? What do you mean, remorse? No, everything is fine. It wasn't my fault. It was just the beast. It was an accident. I'm never gonna do it again. It's not a real problem. How is he rationalizing this? Let's hear it from the player.
Okay, I don't want to go. Okay, so vampires, sex, murder. Could he be like, that felt good? Is that enough of?
Oh,
of
absolutely.
humanity?
This is the first time in a long time when you don't... Has Chris ever drained anyone before?
I don't think he has. No.
So it's the
maybe
first
he's
time
like,
ever that you don't feel the beast in the back of your mind. It's quiet for the first time since you were embraced as a vampire.
like
It's just
because
peaceful now.
like I've read somewhere that if you get like the sex part and the murder part of your brain wrapped up together, that's really bad for the people around you. So Chris is going, oh, that actually felt pretty good, killing that person. Maybe I should do it in the future if it wasn't such a big trouble.
You know what?
that's what
Yeah,
he's-
maybe that is the case.
And he'd be like, I wonder if I ever can get that rush again, the rush of killing somebody.
And also, the peace.
Yes.
Because, again, the beast is gone in your mind. There's no... That constant little nagging is just quiet suddenly. It's...
Oh, give me 1 second, I just want to look something up.
Like, you've been hearing this constant little droning in the back of your mind since you were embraced. And you were so used to it that you didn't even pay attention to it anymore. You just filtered it out. But now when it's gone, you just realize how quiet your mind is and how peaceful and calm it is. For the first time since your embrace. That's not creepy, is it?
No. Well, Chris doesn't think it's creepy. Chris is like, oh, if I kill a person every night, I get to feel like this every night.
That's a terrible way to respond to that, but okay.
Because I'm
Okay.
just going
We have
just
a
like-
race here. Who is gonna hit Humanity 3 first? Chris or Kate? We'll find out soon.
Chris, with that attitude. Kate doesn't care about people, but she doesn't want to hurt them.
It's funny that the person who looks like the quote-unquote most normie out of all of us is going down this path.
I had such high hopes. It's gonna be Charlie who's gonna be the moral compass of the group, right? He already is.
Oh my god.
I don't think he's the moral compass of the group because he never tries to lead us in the moral way. He just tries to get himself out of doing the immoral thing.
That's interesting
He's
distinction.
not leading. He's not leading us morally. He's escaping morally himself.
That is an
Escape a
important
lot.
distinction. Yeah. That is an important distinction for sure.
Sometimes you gotta work on yourself before you work on others.
1000% agree, and I don't think moral lessons would go well in this group generally. But sometimes you've got to do more than protect your own soul.
If you want to raise your humanity, yes, absolutely.
You don't need to succeed, but you need to
You-
try.
You need to try, absolutely. All right, everyone. Shall we have a rouse check to wake in the night of... Where are you sleeping anyway, Chris? Since you have a literal stalker in your house.
At the bathtub.
In the bathtub.
Yeah.
That's gonna be so weird. Okay.
It's usually can fit a person, can't they?
Yeah, but how many bathtubs do you have in this house?
One, probably.
Uh-huh. And is there a separate toilet in the house?
No, that would be in the bathroom, wouldn't it?
Uh-huh. Okay. We're gonna do something fun here.
I would assume you locked the door first.
Probably. Yeah, I did lock the door.
Locking the only bathroom door in the apartment. The one
Well.
place she's guaranteed to need to go.
Yeah, exactly. So, let's see now.
And you'll
What
be
is-
non-responsive, and if she breaks in, she will find a corpse.
So,
Yeah,
just
well-
do...
This is what happens when you have a stalker.
You need to roll a humanity roll. Difficulty 5.
A humanity roll difficulty 5.
Yes, please.
Something is happening during the day.
How do you roll humanity without triggering a roll morse check?
That is a good question, isn't it? You don't have any stains, so you wouldn't lose any humanity anyway.
Okay. No, it went down.
Oh,
You
did
can
it?
just reset
oh,
it.
dang it. We'll reset it then. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay, I see. It's rolling remorse instead of... Okay, because you have 6 dice to roll. That's what you want to do. So you want to roll 6 dice, not 4. So don't click that button. Yeah, that's fair. Roll
So I'll
6
just
vampire dice.
Okay.
Difficulty 5.
The summertime has gone. I know. I'm putting it as a strength roll, okay? Just
What have you?
yeah.
So you
Nope, not enough.
definitely do not wake up.
No.
Okay, let's see now. Kami comes into the bathroom. She is using a very simple lockpick to get in there, probably. Oh, she doesn't have larceny. Maybe you're going to be saved by the fact that she's terrible at opening this lock.
She got in the apartment.
Yeah, she
Jeez.
got in the apartment.
She took my keys somehow, like I think. Oh,
Ha! One
Alright.
success to larceny her way into the bathroom. So she's getting in there. She sees
Yeah.
she sees Chris lying dead in the bathtub because that's what he is. She's jumping at him going, "Chris!" And what are you doing? Chris, why are you sleeping in the bathtub? He's so cold. Chris, he's dead. Oh no! Oh my god! What am I gonna do? Oh my god! I'm gonna call 911. I need to save Chris from being dead.
Correct.
This is happening, by the way, 7 hours since dawn. So that's going to be like noon-ish?
Oh, she slept late.
Or she slept late. So maybe she slept until 10. So this is at 5 then. So it's 3 hours left until sunset, which is not much better. So she's calling 911 so she can get paramedics to help Chris. And of course, by the time the paramedics come in to shock him and start doing CPR on him, I think...
They wouldn't.
Why
They would
wouldn't
see
they?
he's dead.
No,
Once
but
someone's dead, you can't resuscitate them.
Well, they'll see that he doesn't breathe and that his heart
Doesn't
is
have a
stopped,
pulse.
so they will do a CPR.
And is cold.
Yeah, he is cold.
A
that's
cold
fair.
body
He's-
doesn't get CPR.
No, a
Rewarded.
cold body doesn't get CPR.
Cold body gets the coroner.
Yeah. Then they will, I
And
think,
definitely police.
and definitely police. Chris Keller is going to be pronounced dead at the scene. And then body bag. I think his luck here is because he's pronounced dead at the scene. They can't move the body out of the bathroom because of investigation needs. He's eventually going to end up in a body bag. So when he wakes up, he's going to be in a freezer in the morgue.
Oh my god.
They're not
This
going
is
to
the
leave
nightmare.
him in the bathtub to investigate the scene.
Yes.
Probably
but
for some hours.
for some hours.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So maybe there's enough hours going when he's just lying there in the bathtub, and when he wakes up, there's a whole bunch of people here.
There's going to be a whole bunch of detectives in his apartment trying to figure out what the fuck happened here.
Yes, there is going to be. So, yeah, Chris and Cammy is sitting somewhere and just crying her eyeballs out because the love of her life, her boyfriend, she was going to marry him. She's telling the detectives everything about Chris. Chris, you're waking up in the bathtub and it's screamingly bright in here because there is a light shining right down on you. And I'm going to roll a d10 here. This is the life with the Stalker, you guys. You are not in luck right now. There is, in fact, a lab technician swabbing all in the white clothes that they have to secure fingerprints and everything, and just dusting the edge of the bathtub. And you hear people, like there's the radio traffic over someone's walkie-talkie, and you hear people talking out there with Cammy, and this lab technician is standing over you, Chris. What do you do?
Maybe the
Just
best
an
move.
additional bit of information. What happened to the clothes you were wearing when you murdered that girl? And did you wash yourself up in
Yeah,
this
I
bathroom?
did.
Yeah,
Ask
he
myself,
washed up
look.
and changed clothes.
Yeah, which means unless he did a very good job, there's gonna be blood in this bathroom that's not his.
You don't cause that much blood. You don't cause bleeding from the kiss because you can leave
No,
it up
you don't.
afterwards.
This is true.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. So,
Come on.
Chris,
This was with the highest price anybody's ever paid to get out of sharing a bed with somebody.
But I couldn't stay in the room. I went
No,
to the
you
bathroom
can't.
because I was avoiding her because I didn't want to.
Chris, you're lying in the bathtub. There is a lab technician dusting. Observe that in real life, there have been mistakes with diagnoses made before. So people who have been pronounced dead have woken up and not been dead. So it's not a complete unheard of thing.
Rare,
But it's
it does
gonna be
happen.
freaky. Yeah. So
It's
It's
mostly
also like
Just vampires.
It does
Dumbass.
happen like a lot when people have fallen into water and they think they are dead, but later they're like shocked back to life.
that's happened too.
So
But
it's
yeah, Chris
Unfortunately,
is lying
it's
there.
like, yeah.
What are you doing, Chris? As you're seeing a lab technician
I'm going
dusting.
to Blush of Life.
Good idea. Let's do a rouse check for that. I'm pretty sure they must have taken... No, that's when they do an autopsy, when they say take sample tissues and drug panels.
Yeah,
and
they're
whatnot.
not
Yeah,
going
it's later at the morgue usually.
to. Yeah.
So, blush of life,
But
please.
they've definitely done a background check on you. Do you have a good mask?
He doesn't have a mask at all, I don't think. Nope.
No. Oh, a bestial failed. Oh, that was hard.
That doesn't matter for rousing the blood. You just get hung. So, you had several hours of quiet bliss in your head, and now the growl is back.
Okay.
And the lab technician, when you open your eyes, because I guess you do, or do you open your eyes? Like you
I
hear
do
them?
open my eyes. I open them very fast too.
Yeah, and the lab technician goes, ah! And just falls over and falls backwards and is just absolutely freaked out by the fact that you're alive. Ah! Detective! Detective! And the detective comes in and, what the fuck? Oh my god.
I'll get up. And
Are
like,
you,
I'll like,
do you have at least something on you? I'm just
yeah,
curious.
I'm
how
like
Chris
wearing like a Green Bay Packers t-shirt.
Okay. So,
And
t-shirt and underwear. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like, the
Is there a
fuck?
problem, officer?
Doctor! God damn it! Those paramedics, they fucked up. and Kami will come running into the room and just throw herself on your neck and just, oh, you're alive, Chris! I thought you were dead! I called the cops and the paramedics and everybody and they couldn't wake you up and I thought you were dead! And I have a feeling that's gonna resolve itself fairly easily by now because that's, yeah. No detective. This is an easy way out for the detective. They can just close the case and blame it on the paramedics. It's the easiest case ever that they can just
Doesn't
close
make any
out.
sense.
What was that?
The paramedics made a mistake several hours ago.
Yeah,
A
it's
dozen
weird.
people have inspected his body since then.
Yes, it's weird, but the
noticed
detective is
no
going to take the
breath and
easy
cold.
way out.
Man, I would be so fucking mad if I was one of those paramedics.
No, he is dead. Yeah, there's definitely going to be rumors going around here. But yeah.
He was in rigor mortis. His body was cold.
Oh, wait. Can I feed a line of BS to the detective saying that the reason I had to quit my Olympic career was that I have a condition where it looks like I'm dead for a while?
Say Olympic career.
He had
Yeah,
one.
that's true.
Charisma, subterfuge, plus presence, I guess? Because we're definitely doing all here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Like,
also you're trying to convince the cop of something very... But they need some explanation to hang on to because they are going to look for something mundane, right? So they are already open to whatever explanation you want, so I'm going to say moderate, 3 successes needed, because they will they're just grasping at straws right now.
1, 2, 3 plus persuasion 5 plus the extra dice for that's that'll be a auto success.
Okay, yeah. They're like medical condition. Yeah, okay. Yeah. We're just gonna
And
back
I'll
up
say,
and leave
unfortunately, I don't know that it has this really long, complicated Latin name. You know how doctors are; they love to make themselves feel
Right.
important. It's narcolepsy, only worse.
Yeah, whatever you say, Mr. Keller, whatever you say. The detective has other cases and wants to get back to them, and like the CSI team as well. It's not like they don't have any shootings in Chicago to deal with. I think the paramedics are the ones who are going to be very angry with you, but they're busy paramedicing someone else right now because they got out of the scene the moment that the police and the other, because they couldn't do anything. But yeah, there might be some rumors being shed across various first responder teams at this moment. And meanwhile, the rest of the group is waking up from a day of torpid sleep. And I think that this might just be the perfect place to pause the story for now. We have I think, did Tony roll a rouse check?
Oh, I didn't. I'll do that right now.
Roll a rouse check to wake
Nice.
up.
Can't love me.
Kane is with you.
By the way, I was just looking at the wiki for the White Wolf wiki, and I did something really funny.
We'll get to that in a moment. First, we will say thank you so much to the lollygaggers who came raiding us during the
goodness, hello.
broadcast. Yeah. I gave
The
the
lollies
shout
do-
out once I knew how to do it, and love you all. And
Sorry,
what was that?
I said the lollies do be gagging.
They do be gagging. And
Can't
remember,
say
if
that.
you want to be a member of the Camarilla and hear more about what this coterie is doing, the Odd Job Gang is doing, then follow, subscribe, bell icon on YouTube. The Camarilla requires you to maintain the Masquerade. See you next week, everyone.
Cheers.